Okay, Gail, take us away. Take us to yesterday afternoon, yesterday at this time when you didn't have 25 new leads to follow up with today.
Right. Thank you, Don. Thank you very much for inviting me in. So I wanted to show you the props because, part of empowerment is to, educate, demonstrate, guide, and empower. So here we're going to go with the edge of it. So this is what I looked like yesterday at 5 o'clock, and which is sunset here in the Detroit area. My winter coat, a bright red scarf. I did have on glam, big and bold, and of course my Russian hat. Why? Because I want to make sure I'm making a statement. I have one chance to make an impression. No one's got a hat like this, but now just hear my heart. I got to take this off because I will bring on hot flashes that aren't supposed to be present any longer. So bear with me. Okay. So in my tote bag, and everyone probably has a Mary Kay tote bag or something like it, a pocket for some lookbooks, but inside are the tools that I needed to have to do my Honoring Working Women. And I want to give a credit to Alden because she was the original creator of the Honoring Working Women. So I have 25 bags made up in advance. I have them in a clip, 25. I have 100 made, but I have 25 in my bag. My goal is to pass out 25, collect 25 names. If I carry 100 with me, I get overwhelmed, but 25 is doable. The next thing I have in my bag, I will have the zippered pocket. Where'd my zippered pocket go? With the Honoring Working Women forms in it. But I have over 100 of these pre-printed, but I'll put a bunch of these in an easy pocket. So when I approach somebody, I can just gently and with a relaxed and calm way about myself, just pull it out. Then I make sure I have a fancy pin, a diamond pin, because this again leaves an impression. We only have one chance to make a great impression. Let it be the Mary Kay quality. Let it be an impressionable piece that makes us feel pretty snazzy. Now, mind you, I also had my blue jeans on and my boots on up to my knees and my coat on, but I looked, in my opinion, I looked like I was making a statement. And here's what it looked like. I wanted to make sure I touch her 3 times in terms of, I want to get 3 yeses from her. So I walk up to somebody and I say, well, hi there. It looks like you're a working woman. And she says, yes, I am. Now, this is a gal that's working retail somewhere. I say, you know what? I'm with Mary Kay and we're honoring working women tonight. So let me just ask, are you working? And she'll say, yes. I'll say, great. I'd love to be able to give you a Mary Kay charcoal mask. Would you like one? Yes. Awesome. Great. So in just our Mary Kay bags, I have a charcoal mask. And then I have a thank you card. And on my thank you card, it has a QR tag that takes them to my Facebook group. And then on the back side, it shows them, if they wanted to order from me, how to use the Mary Kay app. Okay, so these are handout pieces I can make available for Dawn. All goes in the bag. And I say, well, here you go. Or let me give you this. But I wanted to know, second question, would you like to be entered in a Mary Kay drawing? Because we're honoring working women, a chance to win $50 in free Mary Kay. Oh my gosh, yes, they're so impressed and I'm willing to give them a charcoal mask. Then this second yes. And so they have that, fill that out. Then the third yes, when they turn this back to me, I look at her dead in the eyes. I say, oh, Lisa, it's so nice to meet you. And I shake hands and I say, thank you so much. Is it okay for me to call you or reach out to you on this number, your cell number? Yes, it is. Okay, great. I'll be back with you in the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay, great. Oh, by the way, are there any other girls working here today? There are. Okay, well, I'll go offer this to them. Okay, great. So that's it in a nutshell. Here's what I wanted you to just take home. Always ask, who else in the area? I went into a local restaurant and got 8 leads. Number 1. Number 2, out of the 25 leads, 8 women said they're interested in the Mary Kay opportunity. Only 3 had tried Mary Kay before, and none of them were working with a current consultant. So again, to support Dawn's statement, which is, that this is kind of a wide open market and women haven't heard much about Mary Kay, it is so true. I mean, and I've seen this even before COVID, because I've been doing some version of honoring working women for a very long time. And the majority of women have not tried Mary Kay. I mean, we've only, maybe if we're lucky, worked with 10% of the marketplace. So why did I go out yesterday at 5 o'clock at night at sunset? Well, because my goal is to get 1,000 leads and I want to have 1,000 leads And I've been working on this, but I want to have 1,000 leads by the 15th of December. So right now that means that I need to chunk this down and do 50 a day. And if I don't get 50 done, then that means the next day it's 50 plus the next. That's why I have 100, because I know I'll never exceed. I mean, that's my goal, is that I would never exceed needing to do 100 in one day. So that's why I make sure I have those made up in advance. When do I make them up? When I'm watching TV at night, but not during my going out and meeting people time. I do this in my non-productive time. Why did I go out at 5 o'clock? Because that was when I finally got it together in my own head with enough courage to go out and do it. Just being really transparent. You know, you get through talking about everything until you finally just jump into the game and say, go do what you know how to do really good. And so I just had these wonderful conversations with ladies, came home with my 25 leads, felt like $1 million. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. And it was miserable weather. Let me just tell you, last night in Detroit metro area, it was snowing. And then it got a little bit rainy and it was slushy and it was super cold, all of those things. So what? So what? It's just stuff. But I know I can go out there and collect on those names. And here's the other thing. The women that are working in the retail marketplace on a Sunday night of Thanksgiving week, or the end of Thanksgiving week, they're working when they'd rather be home. Just think about that. So if we go meet people, which seems in our mind like maybe a non-desirable time, but they have to be working, that may make them a little bit more open. And you're just bringing them something wonderful, a charcoal mask. It could be anything, any kind of sample. It just so happens that's what I have. If you have like discontinued samples, maybe of the previous skincare line, it's okay to pass those out. You know, it's okay. Make sure that they have a way to reach you. And of course, you want to make sure you have a way that you can reach out to them. So that's pretty much everything that I got. Dawn, was there anything else you wanted me to mention that I might not have before? Unmute yourself.
Did you mention that it was Home Depot and Lowe's that you had gone in?
I had not.
Where you went to? Because I think it's very interesting where she went to and got all these leads. They may not be the traditional places you think of.
Right. I mean, I went to the places where women were working. I had to think to myself, what stores are open until 8 o'clock at night on a Sunday night? Well, Lowe's, Home Depot, for just a few. And, you know, women work at those stores too. They do. And women probably at those stores need a little bit more pampering than women working maybe at a boutique, right? Because, you know, they're just being exposed to a different whole, you know, environment. And they're there working because they have to work, not because they are there for fun, right? Mm-hmm. And then I also went to a local restaurant, and then I'm in some other retail outlets. I'm in a grocery store, a Home Depot, a Lowe's, a restaurant, a couple. I didn't go to Joann Fabrics because I feel like they are often bombarded, and they work with a tiny pool of people. So, you know, when I do walk into a store, I do kind of survey to see how many people might be there, because I really want to go into stores where there's going to be 1 or 2 more people working, right? Just because I want to be able to have access to more people at one time, you know, getting in and out of the car and the whole 9 yards. So I hope that gives you guys hope that there's people out there, right, and they want what we have.
And so the restaurant, I know you shared, was a restaurant that you and your husband go to, and in Metro Detroit, we call them Conies. So Correct. They're like diners. Like when you, in other parts of the country, people have no idea, like, what's a Coney? So that's where they had gone. So she could go right back, share with them how that looked, Gail, because, you know, sometimes you make things up in your head that aren't necessarily true, and hearing how people do things helps you think outside the box. So what was your strategy for the restaurant that you went to?
Well, actually, I went to the restaurant because the store next door that I went to, which was a Subway shop, I said, anywhere else you think I should go? And they said, oh, yeah, you should go next door. There's a lot of women that work at the restaurant. I went, okay, right. Sometimes I need to have someone else tell me where to go. It was that simple. So I went to the Coney shop, and we recognized the owner, and I just said hi, and I walked right to the back to where they're making food prep and everything there. And the first woman that kind of walked up to me, I asked her, I said, hey, would you be willing to help me with something? We're honoring working women. Do you think the girls here that are working tonight would like to receive a free charcoal mask from Mary Kay? Oh, yeah. Okay. How many girls are there? There's 8. I said, okay, do you think they could fill this form out for me in exchange for the charcoal mask? Oh, sure. So all of the waitresses that were working that night got a bag with a charcoal mask and my little form in it. and they all gave me back forms. They all gave me back honoring working women. So within a matter of 5 minutes, I had gotten 8 leads that I otherwise wouldn't have gotten. The restaurant wasn't terribly busy on a Sunday night. You know, it's not. So that's another thing. When is it not busy, but they're overstaffed? Again, there was that little moment in time when that just happened. So if we think out of the box, and you know, what's the worst thing that could happen? The guy at the front register that owns the place, he could have said, hey, why are you going back there? He could have said that, but he wasn't. He was paying attention to his register, so it didn't matter to him, right? I mean, you just keep going forward until someone says stop. Keep going forward until someone says stop. And then you turn around and give you give them a big smile and say, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Did you say something to me? Well, why are you going back there? Oh, I was going to give some free samples to the girls that are working here tonight, you know, as a compliment from Mary Kay. We're honoring working women. Is that okay with you? Right? That's how I would handle that. You know, he's going to go like, well, sure, you're going to give my girl something. Why, of course, that would be fine. Right? So it's okay. It's okay to be out of the box. It's okay to find out if there's even going to be a stop question in place. It's okay. You know, and if you have to think about it this way, I need to use their ladies' room, but on the way, I'm going to talk to all of your girls, right? If you need to have a self-talk reason to go somewhere else, like, why are you going there right now?
And did you mention the 3 yeses, that you want to get 3 yeses?
The 3 yeses, I'll bring them again. Number 1, are you working tonight? Yes. Number 2, could I give you a free sample of a charcoal mask? Yes. Number 3, would you be willing to fill out this honoring working women form for me? Yes. So I got my 3 yeses. And then I always ask, are there any other girls working here tonight? Well, of course there are, because I'm seeing all over the place. Who do you think I should go to? And so they direct me to people and to more people. And again, that helps you from inside feeling more confident, because again, someone just told you, right? Like a referral, go see her, go see her. And then a couple times they say, yeah, but don't go see her. You know, I went, oh, well, thank you for that one. That saves me time, right?
Yep. Do you guys have questions? You can unmute and ask Gail questions. Any questions?
I don't have a question for you, Gail, but I am impressed and I'm inspired by your courage to go out and do that, even on a night when it was icky here in this area. It was ugly.
Well, thank you. And I got to tell you, you know, my feet were hurting, my legs were bothering me, but I said, I'm just going to go do it until I feel like I really am not enjoying this any longer. So I was willing to push a little bit of pain, because I usually walk every day, but last night, I just didn't want to go out, but my reasons were bigger than my reasons to stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said you will give Dawn that thank you card, one that you had in your bag.
Yes. Dawn, how do you want me to share that? In the Cadillac group?
Yeah, that's fine. And I'll transfer it over to them.
Okay. I'll give you the 2 pieces well, you have the honoring working women form right through your website.
Right.
So you just need to have my card that has my information on. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Perfect.
I'm going to have to go dig for that, because, you know, right now that computer and that information might not be present to win, but I'll go dig for it, because I know I have it on a thumb drive somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, very
Thank you.
inspirational, Gail. Yeah, I think we all need leads like that. So 25 in a couple hours is awesome.
And yeah, and what I like about this is that I need to have that face-to-face time with people, right? I'm old school. I built my business before the days of COVID. So I need to have that. Then I can launch from there and say, we can get together, or we can, you know, virtual, which one is better for you? But I love the opportunity to get that connection first. So it's eye to eye. That's real important, just for me to feel like I'm connecting with people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, virtual contacts have their place, but I feel like they're kind of icing on the cake compared to where it is for me, because I'm part of the face-to-face group.
Yeah, I think I am too, but
yeah. Well, and everyone has to be. Those are and situations. It's not just virtual or in person. It's both. You need both of those. Neither one are at the expense of the other. It's because when people are doing one or the other, you're putting yourself in a win-lose situation. If, you know, weather is bad, you know, black ice, hurricanes in an area, that shuts down a live business, or, you know, shelter in place. But virtual can be shut down too. Facebook in a second can shut down stuff. Electricity can go out. I mean, all sorts of things. So we're going to be smart and put ourselves in win-win situations. So it's and you do and both. Any other questions for Gail? I mean, what I loved is that I mean, it was our first big winter storm so far, you know, this year. So yeah, we made it past Thanksgiving. That's pretty good. But it'll be about 6 more months of winter. But there's a lot of people that they don't go out because of the weather, or it's the end of the Thanksgiving weekend, or it's nighttime, it's dark, or la. Like where you guys are all at in your business, getting into DIQ by Thursday morning, or earning cars, you know, wrapping up DIQ, it takes that willingness to say, fine, I'm going out. I need leads. Like I don't have enough faces. I don't have enough contacts. And you never know. I mean, Gail now has those people to follow up with. You could get those today. And it could be recruits by Wednesday. You have no idea, because she's absolutely right. If people are out working nights and weekends, and so that could be nurses, that could be any kind of retail, that could be restaurants, I mean, hairdressers, nail people, like this season is super busy for a lot of people, and it's not really a pleasant busyness. And many of them are not making more money because they're working more hours and putting up with more, because they are on hourly wage. And so after they take out their taxes, or actually salaried is worse, because I was in retail. So that just meant they could work you 80 hours a week and pay you for 40 or 50. So, you know, this is a very fertile season, because lots of people are out of their house. Lots of people have occasion for shopping, whether it's, you know, we talked about honoring working women is going right to the women at, you know, where they're working, but that could be, you could honor working women through going through a business owner who has a real estate office, or has just a couple people working there that you can go in and pamper and do a little pampering lunch for, you know, again, nurses, teachers. Gail, did you want to share something to that effect?
Lisa actually just asked me to talk about the selfie aspect.
Okay.
So one of the things I used to do before COVID, doing honoring working women, to remember, and also to put my face and her cell phone number in my system, I would say to her, oh, thank you for your information. Hey, how about we take a selfie so you remember me and I remember you, because I am offering this to 100 women so I can do the drawing. Would that be okay? So we take a selfie picture, and then I'll say, you know, can I, you know, would you enter your information into my phone? Because she can do it always faster than I can do it. All right, always. And then I can send her a note with the picture and say, you know, hi, Lisa, Gail here, we'll be in touch. Boom, I send that text off to her, and I've got her picture. She's got, you know, my picture, because we've done a selfie together. And my booking rates from that, I would get 4 out of 10 versus 1 out of 10. Now, I do believe because of COVID, that people are more hungry to get together now than ever before. My last in-face personal party was $950 something. And I had like 6 ladies around the table, and I'm going, oh yeah, I can see that there's some writing on the wall on this one. You know, that was great. Okay. And then there were follow-up appointments from that, because then they wanted to do holiday makeovers from that one. So, and one of the gals is thinking about doing Mary Kay, but she's not ready to pull the trigger on that one. I said, okay, fine. Let's keep moving. Let's just keep going forward. Right. Okay. So I've gone a little bit more than.
Okay. Any other questions for Gail?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
you.
I'll get this recording to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Have an awesome day. You're welcome to stay on.